Oh man, we are welcoming back to FredTalk, one of the FredTalk OGs. Man, you were on one of the early episodes, Jiaani. Well, hold on. I want to introduce everyone to the man, the myth, the legend, Jiaani. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing well, bro. I appreciate you having me back on here, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for reaching out. I noticed on your Instagram some things have changed a little bit. You ducked out into the shadows for a bit, and then you popped out a whole new man. So I want to know, since the last time we talked to you on Fred Talk, which has been about 4 years ish, like what's it been like? What's it been like?
Yeah, so man, it's been a ride for sure. A ride for sure. I've been, I got married in between that time. Obviously, you met me when I had just met my wife, but we weren't married yet at that time. Um, a lot of just transitional things happening in life. Once I think I decided to kind of like step more into like learning more about myself. Obviously you got to do these things when you get married. Um and just trying to work to become a better father, a better husband, a better man. A lot of things happened and transpired. Once I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be here. Everything was just like, all right. And it was just back to back to back.
Okay, so what was the period or event in your life that had you go, okay, I need to level up as a husband and a father?
It was right before I met my wife. I mean, you've known me for a while. You've kind of seen like my personality is always I wanna do more. I want to do more for myself. I always think that wherever you go in life, bro, whatever you get to, you can do more, and
Yeah.
I think that it was just I did the whole thing of okay, making a lot of money, and then I made a lot of money, and uh it just wasn't it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that that was a thing, and then before I met my wife, I would travel around with my friends and go to all these different cities and these states and meet these women and travel and do all these things. But every time I would leave, I would go. This in particular probably was the transition right here. I would leave these different states and countries and things, and I would go to the airport. And when I would go to the airport, I would see men with their families, and that shit kind of fucked me up
Yeah.
because I would see like the happiness they had, and I just got done, having sex with a random person, and I'm drunk, I'm hungover, I was smoking, and it just I got tired of it. I got tired of that whole like, you know, just what am I doing? Um,
If you can you recall to me, because that what you just explained is depicted quite a bit in movies, like when the character's ready to have a family, there's usually that moment where he sees the kids playing in the park and he's like, I'm ready to do this. So what did that moment feel like for you?
when I, you mean like in the airport, like
At the
that?
airport? Yeah.
It was like five of those moments, and they're always at the airport. It was just always because it was me leaving what is depicted to be the thing. Oh, guys gotta have this, and you gotta be a man of like that, all that bullshit they selling nowadays. Like, and I just felt empty, bro. I felt so empty.
Oh, I just got chills. Yeah, I know that
Oh,
feeling. Yeah.
uh,
um
yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah. I just remember I've been a pretty promiscuous dude most of my life, and when I took a break, the last relationship I had, the 10 year, we there was a breakup in between, and right before we got back, I remember finishing having sex with the girl and feeling that feeling of empty, like feeling bad, and I had never felt bad after sex. And
Right.
after like a couple, it happened to with a couple girls, and I had to say I just had that bad feeling, and I was like, I got to switch something up here. This ain't the move here. I got to. I think I got to need something more committed. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, it was yeah, exactly. I feel like a lot of guys we're looking for that. You know what I mean? And I think obviously it's okay. We're human. We're gonna search around. We're gonna, try different things as we should with anything, right? Well, not with anything, but
Mm.
uh, it just got to the point that like, how many more times can I do this? And then I started learning about how energy works and how sex was such one of the biggest transfers of energy. And I know in 9 times out of 10, these people at this time that I was connecting with, I'm going, to go work out, I'm working on meditation, I'm working on all these things, and then they're not doing these things. So when I go to connect, I just felt strict, and I felt, and I'm not to blame them. I mean, but it just was like a rabbit hole, I guess you would say, right, Fred?
Yeah.
So, anyways, fast forward, I started doing the work. I met a dope mentor around 5 years ago that started to work on me, and we did some amazing inner work, chakra work. Now, once me and my wife got together, it was, it was a crash course very, very fast, because we both realized how many traumas that we had between both of us. And we was like, fuck, this is going to be real. You know what I mean? If we want this to work, this is going to be real.
Okay. I have a question about that, but before that,
Yeah.
your mentor, what were the attributes or traits that made you go, I want to be led by this person?
Um, the person just took themselves very seriously, and they had the results to show for it. I
Nice.
mean, they had the work ethic, but when the thing is, real briefly, anyone that, you know, I believe our purpose in life is to work on us as best as we can, to become selfish at first with that. And then the better you become, the natural your light just inspires other. Jordan, Jay-Z, all these people, I never had a conversation with them, but them working on themselves at a high level and a high potential inspired me. And I think that that's our job as human beings. So that's what she did. And essentially, I got locked in with her, man, and she did a lot for me. And one of the things is just, one of the many things was just taking off the traumas and the fears and making me just have a lot of, damn, I never thought about that moment. Like, yeah, you're right. And self accountability.
Yeah, yeah. That accountability and self-awareness is key. I love that you said I never thought about that, because
Mm,
I've met people. There's people in my life that I've met,
yeah.
and if I think this about them, I typically stay away. I'm like, I feel like that dude has never said, "Oh, I never thought about that." I feel like this person in conversation has never said, "I
Oh,
never thought about that." It's always
yeah.
like the one upper type. So I love that you said, like, I feel like that's a good sign of growth where you start being like, "Oh wow, never looked at it this way." Like I feel like it's a way. I don't know. It's almost like proof that someone's released the ego to some extent. So
Yeah.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. So you guys been doing the work together, which is great.
Yeah. And what happened was, we were just actually talking about this last night, me and my wife. My body started falling apart uh in a real way. I went to Dominican Republic, which is where my wife is from, and I know, shout out to DR. Shout out to all the Dominicans out here.
Dominicano, Plátano Power, baby.
All right, I thought, but I went out there, bro, and man, I low key died out there for real. Like, I went to the hospital, and I had kidney stones, very bad kidney stones, to the point to where I was screaming at 3 a.m. in the resort. They had to call the resort doctor. They came, they gave me a shot, like, in my hip. After 10 minutes, it didn't get any better. They gave me another shot. They called the ambulance. It still was in so much pain. And it's a third world country, so by the time I get to the hospital, the resort hasn't communicated with the hospital the proper medicine they gave me.
Yeah.
They just saw how much pain I was in. So they gave me something else. And I think those two medicines weren't really supposed to mix. And yeah, I just blacked out. And when I woke back up, I saw my wife. My wife, she hadn't been to sleep. And she was just there, crying. And I'm just
Damn.
like I died on that table for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, that old version of me, like
Ooh.
something. Then yeah. And then when I did come back, and I spoke to one of my mediums that I was speaking to at the time. She explained to me about chakras, and how the left kidney is associated, as I did more research, with the emotion. It's an emotional something we're holding in, and 9 times out of 10 on the left side is towards a male. And at this time, I hadn't been talking to my father for a year, and we just had started talking again, and so it was a lot of triggering coming up. And
What's you don't got to get into too much detail, but what
yeah,
was the reason y'all stopped talking? Like just like
just to not go too deep, just not agreeing on a lot. Like, self accountability is the big thing. You know what I mean? And
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I,
so
I
you
understand. Yeah,
know,
that's a typical parent thing. Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, I feel you.
from our era because we are more exposed to knowledge that they didn't have.
Yep.
So you be like, yo, look, this is what it is. And they're like, what the fuck is that? What are you talking about? Energy and this and that. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So um yeah, but that then I had issues with my nose. I had bad tooth pains. I mean, bro, it was just back to back to back. Like my body was falling apart, bro. Um, and you know, as I dove more into the work last year, um, is when it really started to turn around for me. The end of last year, and I lost a lot of weight. I went from I'm 5'8", and I was at like 190, 189, 190,
Mhm.
and now I'm at 142. So I lost a
Oh,
little bit.
damn.
Yeah, yeah, I lost some good weight. Um,
Yeah. Holy shit.
yeah, and I'm working on actually just rebuilding, muscle and just doing it the real way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the thing about it, a lot of people are like, damn, why'd you go so small? Why'd you lose so much weight? And I said, the reason I didn't realize that um it was me releasing a lot of traumas, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. So with that, I was holding on with that weight. So as I released that, the weight was just starting to slide.
So I'm assuming by you saying that means like by releasing those traumas, you were able to start committing to the life that you've probably been wanting to do, right? Like eating
Exactly.
right and all that. Yeah, that is one thing. When you take care of the traumas, all of a sudden the toxic cycles they start to dissipate a little. They start to dissipate. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Good for
Yeah.
you,
So
man.
I had cut out, thank you, brother. I had cut out drinking. I haven't, had a drink in like 2 years. And that was something big for my mom and my father, that they just drinking and then smoking. Same thing. I cut that out about a year ago. Just no porn, no doing none of that in
Yeah.
almost a year.
Oh, you ain't even. Oh, wow.
No, no,
Good
no.
for you, bro. You on
Yeah.
monk mode, dude. That's
Yeah, it was just let me, one of the main reasons for this is everything that I would do and be like, no, I want to get better. I want to get better. I would get rid of that thing and then still realize what the fuck, man. Like I'm still not one of the biggest things was after I did all of those things was gossip. I didn't realize I was a fucking gossiper. I would engage in gossip. I would talk in gossip. I would do and see the thing is we don't realize a lot of these small characteristics they have the compound effect, right? So like I know, like one thing affects everything.
yep.
So people nowadays be like, damn, like what you trying to be perfect? And I'm like, damn, if being a great husband, a great father, a great man, being in shape, eating healthy, not doing all, if that's perfect, fuck it, then yeah, I'm trying to be perfect. I don't know
Yeah.
what the you know what I'm saying? And it's not that I'm looking at it like I want to be better than anyone. I just want to be better than who I used to be, dog. Like I don't feel like I was a good person, and I feel like I lied. I convinced myself that I was a good person, and I think that
Mm.
that's what many of us do. Like, no, I don't do this and this and this, so I'm good. But what if what if you're not reaching your full potential of who you're supposed to be? Anything below that is just you're a shitty person because you're
Ooh.
taking you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a harsh look, but I think it's a good depending on the personality type. I think that's a good way to look at it if you're striving to be better. Because you make a point there. Because if the person you're supposed to be is this person that leads by example and helps others follow in their lead and become the better version of themselves, and that maybe everybody has a different number of people they can affect, right? Maybe some people it's only two people, other people it's millions, depending, and somewhere in between. So by you not being the best version of yourself, you're shorting out those thousands of people that potentially look at you and go, "Oh, I'm gonna stop drinking too. I'm gonna
Yeah,
stop fapping. I'm gonna stop
yeah,
lying. I'm gonna stop gossiping." Like,
yeah.
yeah. So I like that. I like that.
Because this is the thing, Fred. It's like this, bro. You want to go us like you in general. You want to go to a certain level in life with your goals. You want to be this person, but those things can't go with you. That's the thing. We've seen so many guys that have touched these millions of dollars, quote unquote, success, and uh, they're still very unhappy. Very unhappy. I mean, I've seen it all the time. I've seen so many times of just these people that the normal person thinks that they would, oh, if I was in that position, and you're wrong. You're wrong, because I've made, hundreds of $1,000s in a month and felt like the emptiest that I've ever felt. And I made $10,000 in 1 month and felt the best I've ever felt. So it's not financially. It's, if you can get rich internally, you can definitely get rich externally.
And what does getting rich internally look like for you?
Uh, I you know
What does that mean to you? Yeah.
being at peace. No, that was fire. I just didn't expect you to lay it out like that. That was fire. Being at peace internally, and smiling more and being more gentle with myself. I've been very aggressive with myself over the years, and I want to be more gentle with me. I want to be more gentle internally, but more aggressive with my goals. And I want to love people around me more. I want to be the father. I want to be the man that I would look up to, and I want to lead by a solid example, to be able to help the people around me. I feel an amazing feeling when I help people that I've never felt from money.
Yeah.
I haven't felt it. And I
Mm.
bought, and the reason I use money a lot, because I want people to really know, like, I'm the guy. I'm the guy for that type of talk. Like, I got every type of fucking Rolex. I got every type, bro. Them shit sit in my closet, bro. They don't this is my favorite watch right here. I
That's
call it iWatch. My kids
yeah.
are like, so old. I'm like, yo, it's the iWatch. Like,
Yeah, you counting steps. You trying to keep track of them steps.
there we go.
The
Oh,
Rolex don't keep track of your
the
steps.
Rolex don't keep track of my fucking steps, right? I like that. That's fire. But man, and the more, listen, I got a picture I'm gonna send to you. The more I started taking care of myself, the more I started looking younger, bro. I'm about to be 35 years old. I got a picture when I was 28, Fred. I swear to God, I don't know if you've seen that. I posted on Instagram. I look fucking 40, bro. At 28, I mean, I'm stressed out. My face this is from alcohol, smoking, just sex. Every time I build myself up, I can't wait to go bust a nut. Like, think
Mhm.
about this, fellas. I want for all the guys watching. Think about this, right? When I look at my youngest son, he's 3 years old. He's so beautiful, Santiago.
Great
When I
name.
look at life force, that it takes to create a child, how much protein, how much things it takes, like, and then you just then you just go and just let it go.
Mm, yeah.
Just go let it go. Like, what? Like, bro, you can use that for creation. Like, use that internally. Use that to, it's just, that's a child. That's a whole human being. And obviously it takes a woman, right, too. But
Yeah.
just think that comes from you. That's the seed planted in that. So
Yep.
imagine if you can release a seed planet, that means you internally got a seed planet. And you got thousands and thousands of them. Yep.
So I want to touch on something that I think a lot of men can relate to, because this is one of my weaknesses.
Come on.
Is that I'm very hard on myself. And you just mentioned being gentle with yourself.
Yes.
So like walk me through that process mentally. Like when like what did that journey look like for you, from becoming someone that's hard on themselves to becoming someone that's more gentle on themselves today?
Um, Honesty. A lot of fucking honesty, Fred. A lot of honesty, a lot of looking in the mirror, a lot of self accountability, a lot of just like, bro, you not who you say you are.
Hmm.
Honest conversations of, just, you're not who you say you are. If you're saying that you're this and you're that, your life should reflect it. If a man is right, his life will reflect it.
Yeah, yeah. Damn. Honesty. Yeah. I think
And
that's yeah, honesty's
so,
undefeated. Like,
so like this. So look at it like this. All right, that's the first part of the first part of the answer. So first, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to lay it all out on the table, and then you have to start working on these things on a day-to-day basis. Yo, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this, but you're not any of those things. These are things that you're engaging in. So it's
mhm.
not really who you are. However, once you do these things every day, it does become a part of your character, because it's what you do on a compounded, day to day. So it is who are you be are be, it is who you are becoming. And so being honest with yourself first. What are your weaknesses? What are your flaws? What are your insecurities? And deep dive into those things. And then be like, all right, you know what? I'm ready to start working on me, man. I'm ready to start. And I understand it's going to be a process. It's not 2 months. It's not 3 months. It's a year, years. And just be comfortable with that shit. But know that you're perfect, bro. When you were born perfect. You were born like a Ferrari, whatever the fucking top car is. But your mom and your father, they never had a car like that. So they don't know how to keep maintenance on it. They don't know how to
Yeah.
drive it, put in it. They don't know what to, and you can't blame them for that because their parents didn't fucking have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so you got to give it to yourself when you get older. You have to give. My wife, she says something fire that I took from her. She says that there's a difference between self care and self love. Self care is doing the things that are comfortable. Self love is doing the things that are uncomfortable.
Mm.
Self care, going to get your edge up, going to get your nails done, going to get some new clothes, going to self care.
Yeah.
Self love is going to do the things that are uncomfortable. That's when you really love yourself, right?
Damn. I like this car analogy. You're born as like this high end car.
Yeah,
And then I feel like life, when you need a repair, life ain't gonna put the OEM Lamborghini part back in you. They're
they're
gonna put
putting
a Camry part in you because
they.
that's what everybody's doing. Everybody's doing the and now you're running weird and you're like, why am I ain't feeling like a Lamborghini? Something's off.
Yeah,
Like, and then
yeah.
later in life you go back to putting those original car parts back in you.
That's it. That's it. And that's the key. You got to give it to yourself. You have to know the value of you first, man. And we still, I'm still figuring it out on a day-to-day basis. And I'm sure over the next few years, like there's things that I'm going to uncover. However, for now, I definitely know the key of success within me and the foundation. I told my wife in December, this year for me is about my core and
Mhm.
foundation. Legs, ironically, the two weakest parts on me at that time were my legs, my foundation, and
Mm.
my stomach core.
Yeah.
So I didn't recognize that it was not only physical, but it was mental, spiritual, emotional. I wanted to scratch the whole thing and start over, and that's why I wanted to take the weight down before I build. I wanted to take off before I put together. I needed to take off these old carefree parts, and in order to, I got to take them off before I could put
Yep.
the Ferrari, the Lamborghini back on.
All right, cool. So throughout this like transformative stage, Jiaani,
Yes, sir.
were you still creating? Did you take a break from creating music? What was that? What was the art like during this time?
So I had opened up a sneaker store, and I took a break from doing the music. I just needed to get out my creative something, and so I did that last year, and that's been doing really well. Once that got up and running, then I said, all right, I want to work on an album. And when I titled the album, I found a dope phrase that I heard from this guy that said every billionaire thinks about death at least 5 times a day.
Oh,
And
damn.
phrase that came out with it called Memento Mori. Memento Mori means remember that you will die. So it for me, it meant at that time of like take advantage of your opportunities when I first came up with it because you will die. Now, I didn't realize I was prophesizing when I said it, and that remember that a piece of you is gonna die for you to have to go to this next level. And I
Mm.
started working on a project 8 months ago when I started working on my cutting down the weight and things like that as well. So when I finished it, it was like the finishing of a phase, I guess you would say, and the
Yeah.
rebirth of new me. Yep.
Wow, wow. So what type of subject matter could a listener expect to listen to and to listen to in this new album?
A lot of motivation. A lot of motivation, a lot of going through like a lot of self accountability, a lot of ways to win financially, you know, as a leader, as a man, just giving out the jewels that 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 I got internally and that I've worked for through through life experiences and other mentors and things, and then putting it into the music, so it's not just some bullshit. Uh, and I transformed myself. I was in a lot of people don't notice because I don't speak about it a lot. But I do, and I battle with it. Uh, but I do think it's very imperative for me to discuss, because especially for a lot of young guys. But I was in the streets for 10 years plus, so I was getting a lot of money in the streets for 10 years plus. Um, Once I decided to make my transformations, right? A lot of things happened that I'm gonna wait a little more time down the road that I can go into. But a lot of things transpired. And this was part of my death coming to be. Um and that would inspire this album. So I'm speaking about also things that happened in that realm as well.
Wow. Okay. And just as a refresher, because you have been to prison, right?
Jail, no, not
Yeah.
prison.
Okay. Okay. You've been in jail. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, when I
Um.
was when years old, or actually I think I was 20 years old. I had got charged with 17. I was charged with conspiracy to commit armed robbery. Those charges
mm,
were later dropped because of a lack of evidence. They didn't have evidence on that. When I was
Okay.
20 years old, I got charged with shooting in the city limits, carrying a concealed weapon, possession of a firearm, and I had to sit down for a couple months for that. And that actually is what led me into cutting hair. I cut hair for 5 years.
Yeah.
When I back and talk about my life, it seems like I'm 80 years old because of the experiences that I've had within I'm 34. I cut hair for 5 years. I was in the streets I was 17. I was homeless at 17. I went to jail at 17. I was in a group home at 15. It's just a lot of great things happened in my life as well. It wasn't like it was all bad. Um, so
Yeah, I'm glad we did the refresher because I just wanted to highlight the character arc of your story, which I think is phenomenal. And I still have your 10,000 hours song. So you've always kind of been on like your music is like motivational. Your 10,000 hours song is on my gym playlist, bro. And your flow is that of like classic hip hop. So this new album, would it fall onto the category of conscious hip hop?
I would say so. I would say
Okay.
I like yeah, because I'm not, I'm very conscious, very I really wanted to create a genre of music that people can listen to my music when they wake up, that gives them like that pre-workout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also have music on introspection, and when you want to go to sleep, things like that as well. Like, just like, man, when you want to go get it and you want to go out in life and you want to really turn your day up and you want to get rid of fears and traumas and insecurities and you want to step into your power, turn my shit on. That's what I wanted.
Hmm.
That's what I was looking for. So I had to be the answer to my problems.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Listen, you are the answer to all of your problems. And I'm just here as a mirror to say, hey, look, I did it. You can do it too. But first, you got to realize that you are the answer. You are the person to blame. And at the same time, you are the answer. Think about that, right? When you want to blame everybody else, 9 times out of 10, people not going to take that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to say, okay, it was me, right? So stop looking for expectation from that. Figure out what you did in the situation, right? Even, for example, if someone takes advantage of you and you like, damn, I can't believe they took advantage of me. Maybe you should look at yourself and be like, well, damn, I was stupid enough to not read the person's character. And I was
Mhm.
too giving. Why was I so giving? Oh, because I'm looking for validation. Oh, because I need someone to love me. Oh, because I need. So that's you. Everything goes back to you. And I am
Yep.
a big you advocate. I don't
I'm
I give a fuck about what my dad did, what my mom did. I blame them a lot of my life, Fred. Then I realized to free myself, I had to be like, man, it's me, dog. It's me.
mm,
And that's what my music is.
um yeah, I agree with that. Any problem that happens in my life, I'm the first person I go to when I go, how what did I do to invite this into my life? I start there, and most of the time, it's something I could have done something, or I've learned. All right, next time this shit goes down, next time I see that, I'm gonna do this. It rarely ever goes outside of yourself, but yeah, start with yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel you're right. I feel like a lot of problems could be solved there. Dude, I haven't done an interview in a minute, and I think you were the perfect person to come and like break that streak for me. This was such a great conversation, man. Love the transformation. I love that you're creating again and putting music out. I highly recommend the listeners go check it out. You're awesome at what you do, bro, and I'm really proud of you for leading by example out here. In a time where we need men to look up to. So I appreciate you doing that. Last question.
Yes, sir.
Last question that I asked the FredTalk guest. What do you think about the most? And I asked this. I think it was the Buddha who says you get what you think about the most. So when I saw that, I was like, this is how the FredTalk question came about. So in general, what do you think about the most?
Mm. Man, I think about how to put my family in the best position possible, and making sure that I'm walking in my purpose. Every day I'm asking and thinking like, damn, was this in my purpose? Is this in my purpose?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just affecting the world in Memento Mori. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They'll die, dog. That's what I'm thinking about now. Death. That's why you see me 20 times posting on Instagram a day. Like, you ain't go, they can't get rid of me. Cause it's like, now it's up. I know what I need to do. I'm not thinking about what they think about me. What is this person? I don't give a fuck about that. I'm here to do what I need to do. And I'm in your face. And that's it. That's
Mm.
it. Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better. Jiaani, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
Yeah, man. Where can people find you? Where can they find your
yeah.
music? What's the name of the album?
Yes. So the album is, once again, Memento Mori. And you can find me on Instagram at I am Jiaani. The name is spelled Jiaani. If you go to my link tree on my Instagram, all my businesses are connected under there. My Kick Unlimited, which is my sneaker store, kickunlimitedlife.com, that's there. My Elevated Mindset Club, where I do a mentorship for young men and men in general to really get them to step into their power and give them the system that I created for myself. That's there. The album is there. Just everything is under one umbrella. And Fred, I wanted to say to you, I appreciate you taking the time to have me on your platform. You're a guy. I love your comedy. I love you. I was on your page not long ago, real briefly, where you said something like, the kids got to try cocaine. What is that? You can't try cocaine now? And I just,
Yeah,
oh
they
my,
messing it up. We can't even
it
have
was
fun
so
anymore.
fucking hilarious because you come from that era of New York that is just, it can never be replaced again. And I think like, just like you keeping that energy is just it, man. And so salute to you, bro, and constantly going towards your dreams and walking in your purpose, man. I salute that, man, for sure.
Likewise, Jiaani. Thank you so much for sharing the space, bro. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man. I love seeing the growth.
Love, bro. Love, bro. Thank you so much.
No problem. Peace.